Pisces babies, how are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. I am incredibly sorry I didn't get to shuffle on camera. As soon as I started your reading the very first time, all of this distraction, all of this noise just started pulling in. I mean, my phone was being blown up, and then at the same exact time, there were loud kids screaming and stumping and running all over the place upstairs. So it was a bit overwhelming, and then my cat started going crazy. So there's just a lot of stimulation I feel coming for your energy, right? And when I dealt your cards, there was this like vibe of your masculine and your feminine energies trying to balance themselves out, because you do have the queen. You have the queen card, which talks about feminine energy, fertility, sexuality, and friendships. And then you have water, which talks about, or the water fairy, which talks about feelings and emotions. And the feminine energy is associated with feelings, emotions, and that of the heart, right? And then you have the wind fairy, which talks about thoughts, words, intellectual analysis. And then you have the king, which talks about male authority, masculine energy, sexual energy, and things pertaining to laws and justice. So altogether, there's this, it's like your energy is trying to find its own flow and its own balance within a noisy world. And you guys are so sensitive, and you take on, it's like you soak up all the energy that is around you. You know what I mean? You take all of it in, and it really bothers you at times. And when people have wounds and they have hurt and they have pain that's oozing, it's very loud energetically to you. And if you aren't aware of what you're feeling and what your thoughts are, you end up embodying the energy that is not yours, essentially. And so what spirit was saying was, you guys actually have a little bit of a fear of vulnerability and a fear of, being taken for a ride by people's energy, just because you haven't had a handle on your inner sensitivity. You know what I mean? Oh, I feel like Sphinx is adding to the intuitive energy in the area. It looks like he's meditating. Sorry, I got 4 cats, and sometimes whenever I read, Sphinx likes to come in, and he'll just turn into his little loaf, and he will just chill, and he's just chilling. Anyway, so yeah, um, there's like this fear of vulnerability and intimacy with others, because sometimes getting too close to people, it's painful, because you see everything and you sense everything. That's literally what I'm getting. People are loud, and I can relate, y'all, because I am a Pisces. I have several Pisces placements, and I have my Aries Venus is in the 12th house. It's in the 12th house. Miss Ma'am, hold on, guys. I gotta kick her out because she's about to start wilding. You see what I mean by distraction? Come on, Miss Ma'am. Go, Persephone. Hi, Mama. I'm gonna leave the door cracked open. You can come in whenever you want to, but you can't cause hell right now. But Stinky, you can stay. So, okay. Whew, I forgot where I was going because she was doing weird crap. Okay. So, anyways, let's start with our reading. So, your first pile here, again, you have the Queen, which talks about women, fertility, feminine power, sexuality, and friendships. And then you have the High Priestess of Water reversed. And already when I see this reverse, that lets me know that you guys are kind of apprehensive when it comes to diving deeper into emotional energy. Emotional energy, it feels very painful because of the individuals that you guys have, I guess, intertwined yourselves with, gotten close to on that deeper level. They've hurt you. And also, too, what hurts them hurts you. You feel all of that super intensely. And when sometimes you deal with people that are disconnected from their emotions and you try to encourage them to open up to that, they lash out at you. And I do feel that energy a bit here. So it kind of made you close yourself up, and you could be more open, like your heart space, your heart chakra can be a little bit more open and receptive, but it's like you have it curled up. Like, imagine your heart chakra like a little green lotus flower, right? And all the petals are spread out whenever you are 100% open in that heart space, right? Whenever you guys feel this apprehension, it's like your petals are curling up into each other, and it's like the lotus flower is, starting to close. I feel like that's where your energy, it's like your lotus flower for your heart chakra is trying to open, but this weird like apprehend apprehension you feel is making you want to close back up. So like, it's like when you're by yourself, it's open. And then when you get around other people, it's closed out of fear. That's the best way that I can explain it. And so, with this card that talks about the heart chakra, and it says, I love myself and others unconditionally and nurture loving relationships. So, this is saying you have more control over the people that you allow close to you than you realize, than you really think. You've just, like I said, you've just gone with the flow of everybody else's emotions, and you've allowed people to kind of take you for, rides. Like, if you have people that aren't self-aware of how they, of how they feel and what they think, at that moment, you wouldn't disconnect from them. You would simply try to, stay there, be loyal to them, and go through their ups and the downs with them. But that's not what Spirit really wants you to do. Spirit really wants you to drop those people, because your main priority is your happiness and your ability to feel good emotionally. And if you are around people that are not there, they are going to bring you down. You're going to adapt to, whatever they're feeling. And if you can't, if happiness doesn't live there within those people frequently, just imagine you're not going to get there frequently. You're going to get, like, you know what I mean, like when you're empathic, and or when you're clairsentient and you have that clear feeling, when people that are depressed are around you, you're going to feel that depression immediately, because it's energy, it's there, it's what's hidden, right? You're sensitive to it. Like, for an example, I love the fact that the situation happened in my life. And if you come from TikTok, then I talk about this a lot, because that situation has so many good lessons in it. And I'm proud of myself for being consciously aware enough to learn those lessons, to soak them in, and to alchemize that situation so I can give this type of example to you guys. But I had a girl move into my house. We were friends, She she was going through something with her mom, and her mom was gambling the money away because they lived together. And she was gambling the money away, and she would go back to my friend and ask my friend to pay up. And my friend kept having to come up out of, her pockets, and out of nowhere emptied her savings account in order to pay her mom. So she was literally never getting out of the hole. And, eventually she told her mom, like, I don't have it. So her mom kicked her out. And I told my friend, I said, hey, you can move in with me. You can move into my little office for a month or so or two to get everything set, save up your monies, and you and your son can move out into your own place, right? And I knew that it was time for me to help her, because I had a dream like 2 weeks prior. We were in a school. I think it was like the school bells were ringing, the fire alarms were ringing, and whenever that happens, I know that a major shift in energy is happening. So it's time, to go. And the best way to go about these shifts, and that I learned in my dream, is to not panic. I wasn't panicking in my dream. She was. I knew which way to go, but she was going towards danger. And in the dream, I said, hey, girl, come on. I grabbed her hand and we went on to safety. So I knew, okay, this is something that I guess I have to do. So I did it. And I gave her, stipulations. And I said, hey, my friend, you can move in with me if you do X, Y, and Z. Like, these are the terms and conditions. And y'all, I am someone who was very, I'm, I'm very weary of people because I like to be protective of my energy. I've been hurt a lot. I've been around a lot of hurt people, and I've been around of a lot of people that have lashed out at me and have taken their pain out on me, and I have treated myself like they treated me. So I'm very weary about people. And I felt good about letting her in. And it turned out that she couldn't help herself be greedy, and she started to take advantage of me. I started to notice that she wasn't really trying to go out there and get her money straight. She started, you know, telling me she didn't have money, so I would give her money for, her Lyft rides to work. I would do this for her, I would do that for her. Turns out she was pocketing the money the whole entire time. And she was spending the money. She wasn't managing her money. She was actually being very irresponsible. And then she would do the same thing that her mom had did to her, go be irresponsible with the money, and then come to the next person that's helping you out and, drain their pocketbooks. So not only that, I was aware of the fact that she was being irresponsible. I was feeling her intentions, right? And I was hurt by her intentions because I'm like, I can recognize what you're thinking and what you're feeling based off of the moves that you make, my love. You are not, you're not hiding anything from me. I see you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear. But I'm gonna let you do what you want to do, because when I cut that cord, I cut that cord, but also I didn't know how to cut that cord. I was just trying to go with the flow at the same time. So I also started to notice that her mental health and her emotional health was up and down. She wasn't consistent in how she felt. So when things would be going in an uphill slope and it was time for her to put a little bit more effort into making change, she would sabotage herself, and she would, spiral out of control and would have meltdowns, right? And and the thing about it is, who is she gonna go to when she has these meltdowns? It was always me. And I could never fill up my cup. I was consistently depleting myself. And if I were to take one step to fill up my cup, she would come in and just deplete me. So I was always in a rut, energetically and emotionally and mentally, until I got physically sick. And I got sick for about 2 months because I could never get better. Because I was always I was going up and down, like whenever whenever you go through stress, your immune system drops. And I'm one of those people where my happiness is low key correlated to my goddamn immune system. If I'm happy, my immune system is in tip top shape. If I'm sad, if I'm stressed, if I'm worried, if I have anxiety, oh yeah, my immune system gets very low. And it's easy for me to get sick, and I can get sick like that. It's so interesting how that works for me. And with her emotions going up and down, and me sensing them and me feeling them and taking them in without an outlet, because she wouldn't let me have an outlet. If I were to set boundaries, it was like she would latch onto me deeper so I wouldn't get away from her. Like that controlling energy. I couldn't feel better, and I couldn't get better. And I felt trapped. So my health ended up pretty much declining until I let her go. And then when I let her go and she moved out, I started to feel better. And it was like all that energy was gone. Like, this is a type of sensitivity you guys have. Everything in your reality matters. Every energetic being in your energy matters, and you need to take it seriously. It's okay to take it seriously. And Spirit is saying you don't need to have these types of people in your life wreaking havoc on your energetic field. You are highly intuitive, highly sensitive, and you need to take care of that. That is a must, and that is a need for you. And when you recognize that this is a need, you'll start to take care of, you know, your surroundings a lot easier. You'll want peace around you. You want to make sure that the people around you are at peace. So you won't be scared. So you won't block off your emotions when people start to show these intense feelings. So you're okay with being vulnerable with people and sharing your vulnerabilities with others. Relationships don't have to be a hard place for you or a hard area for you, especially when you are such a big ball of love and compassionate energy and acceptance. And you bring happiness wherever you go. You bring acceptance wherever you go. And you bring non judgment wherever you go. Remember that, okay? You have every right to choose who you want in your space. So, moving on, we have the water fairy, feelings and emotions upright. I love that. And then you have listening with the I embrace the element of air and am open to all knowledge and wisdom. Yes. So what this is telling me is you need to have a better connection with your, with your thoughts, your mind space. What thoughts come in your mind? Because when you're feeling stuff, your mind is immediately right there telling you what it is that you're feeling. Your emotions are coming into your awareness, right? You guys oftentimes don't like to judge others. You love for people to be who they are. But your mind is going to tell you a lot about people. It's going to tell you a lot about their actions. So when I finally decided to listen to my feelings in regards to that friend, all those things that were going through my brain that made me feel like I was being mean or having mean thoughts about someone, I was like, oh, I wasn't being mean. This is actually the truth. This is an honest judgment on who this person is and on what's happening. This is the reality. And this is where this masculine energy comes into play. You know, the masculine energy inside of you is going to judge the actions of another person. It's going to recognize the actions, and it's like, oh, that is not the action of a noble person. That is not the action of someone who has it together. And that is not the action of someone who wants to have this type of reality and this type of experience in life. Listen to that, because that is going to help you delegate your physical reality and delegate your relationships and place those people in the right bucket. Are you in the bye bye bucket, or are you in the ride or die bucket? Which bucket are you in? If I can lean on you, I want you in my lean on bucket, right? But if you are a not so great human being, you're going to go in that not so great human being bucket, and you're going to get the hell away from me because you're going to drain me dry. Listen to your thoughts. Listen to those, judgments. Listen to that discernment that is coming through intuitively. You are a good judge of character. You are 12 signs wrapped into one whole sign. So you have all of this magic and all of this energy at your disposal. All right, my love? And it's okay to say that this person is not good for you. It's okay to say, I don't like this person because their emotions are out of whack, or they don't think correctly. Their actions don't show me that they're a good person. You're not being a bad person for saying that. You're being smart. You're being cautious, and you are protecting your energy, and that's important. No more allowing people to take you for a ride because they're having a bad day. And a lot of those people from your past, they were having a bad day, they were spiraling. And just because they were having a bad day and they were spiraling does not give them the right to treat you like garbage in their wake. I don't like to be treated how people feel. You know what I mean? Like, if you're triggered, don't treat me like shit because you're triggered. Have the balls to handle that. Have the self-awareness to handle that. Go separate yourself away from me. Go balance yourself out and approach me with love and compassion and with kindness at all times. I don't have I don't have the time for that. Like, I like to have a zero policy for that. Excuse me, rubbing my eye. I like to have a zero policy for that type of drama because we're all grown at this point. And if you're not fucking grown, excuse my French, I don't want you around me. Period. So, moving forward, we have the Wind Fairy, thoughts, words, intellectual analysis with differences. And then we have the Sacral Chakra card facing the left, which represents past energy. And this card says, I feel comfortable in my own body and I'm sensitive to other people's feelings. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So when you are in, sorry, I don't mean to hit that. So when you are in the presence of another person, and you pick up on their feeling or their feelings and their thoughts, what is coming to your mind? What is your intuition telling you? What is your common sense telling you? A lot of the times when people experience or express their emotions, it tells a lot about who they are. And for an example, this is what I mean. So I remember I had this one lady get hired at my job, and just in casual conversation, right? She starts talking about, we're going to call her Jane. In casual conversation, Jane, 50, almost 60 something years old lady, right? She starts talking about how her and her boyfriend were walking their dog across the street. They just moved to this new neighborhood. They go meet, another neighbor that's walking their dog and passing. And Jane asks this neighbor, hey, you guys want to come over for a swim? You guys want to come over and hang out with us? We can smoke some weed and we can, drink some beer and have a good old time. This lady stuck her nose up at Jane and said no. And when Jane was telling this story, I kid you not, Jane was cussing. She was angry. She was foaming at the mouth like she had rabies. And, she was just spitting all over the place. And you can see her face turn red from how angry she is. I'm looking at this lady and I'm like, what in Sam Tarnation? What? Why are you mad at someone's boundary? Because that person doesn't know you. It's fair that not everybody is going to accept your welcoming energy. Hello, 2024. There's a lot of serial killers and weird people on this dang on planet, and everybody has the right to be cautious of who they allow in their personal space and their personal energy. Not everybody wants to come over your house and go for a swim and be vulnerable and half naked when they have never met you in your life. And when you are a woman with your husband and another woman is trying to ask you and your husband out to their house, I'm thinking swinger vibes, which if that's what you do, to each their own. But I'm thinking, honey, are you trying to, get me in bed? Are you trying to do some swinging with me? I don't know you like that. So absolutely not. Because that's not normal. You're totally skipping the let's have a conversation. Let's maybe go out. Let's maybe have chit chats. Let's maybe have five or four or six or 10 chit chats in passing before we get to that level of being close friends. Like these are all the things that are going through my mind, right? But I didn't judge her for it, but I kept that in the back of my mind and I was like, ooh, you push boundaries. I don't like that. Sure enough, homegirl spent every day for 3 months asking me if I wanted to come to her house. And I'm 28, y'all. She is 57 with her husband, or her boyfriend, excuse me, asking me if I want to come over to their house by myself and go for a swim and hop in their pool and smoke with them. Y'all trying to drug me. Not really, but she had no boundaries. And if you have no boundaries, right, baby, right. Yeah. If you have no boundaries, then I can't hang with you because I have boundaries and I need my people around me to be on that same type of vibe. So, right there, like come on, listen to your judgments, listen to your judgments, listen to your thoughts, listen to what comes into mind because it's going to tell you how to maneuver around people and allow yourself to really process what it is that you're thinking. Because I feel like people have judged you for calling people out on their, on their shite. And they have called you judgmental. They have called you every name in the book because you have a good judge of character, my love. So here's another thing that Spirit is telling you this month. Trust your judgments, trust your discernment. And it's okay to say no to people. If you pick up on some energy that makes you feel uneasy about a person, it's okay to listen to that, and Spirit is saying you're right on the money. There's no karma for that. You're not treating anybody bad for that. You're not, making them feel any type of way. And if they do feel some type of way, it's because they want something from you, point blank, period. You should be able to live in freedom and go and come as you please, because best believe it, no, they want to go and come as they please. They want to do everything when they fucking feel right. So you have every right to do the same thing, and you should allow yourself that time and that space. I just love Sphinx. He's my buddy. He's my little Thai steam pot. That's my baby. So last but not least, what's up? What's up, pumpkin? We have the King, which talks about man authority, male sexual energy, things pertaining to the law and the justice. And then you have Grove. And then you have Wheel of Life. I am guided by the cycles of life and live in complete harmony with them. Yes. So when you get that feeling and that vibe that you need to go ghost, like on some Danny Phantom shit, listen. When you get that inkling that you need to leave people alone, listen, don't hesitate. Let it make sense later on. Because I feel like for my Pisces, you will get that feeling first before it will make sense later. You'll pick up on the actions and the judgments, right? And like your discernment of other people, but because you're so loving and you're accepting of others, and you typically don't, like, you just like to allow. You don't like to push, you just like to allow, and you like to go with the flow. I feel like because you guys have that, you will listen to your feelings first. And if your feelings say, oh, you're making me feel weird, bro, I don't like how your actions are making me feel, I'm going to take a step back. Listen to that. And then later on, that's when your intuition and spirit starts telling you the whole picture. And that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes you don't need to have all the information, and you won't have all the information. The information will come after that. So listen, because you deserve to be in a good space, comfortable with people that really love you and that really want the best for you and that feel good to you. When you step into their energy, when you step into their presence, it feels open, it feels friendly, it feels warm. You feel loved. You feel like you don't have to give up yourself or sacrifice yourself, for their happiness. So I don't know, like I feel like this is a time for you guys to really open that heart chakra all the way first for you. Number one, for you. And to get comfortable with your feelings, to turn this high priestess of water, this emotional energy right side up so you can get your emotional flow back. And once you turn your emotions, on again, and you allow them to flow openly, that's when you're going to feel like every single thing is going to click and you are going to be whole. So there is union for you guys in the month of December, but you have to trust your heart. You have to trust, the spiritual guidance that's going to lead you to opening your heart again. Okay? All right, my loves. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys have a heartfelt December. I hope you guys enjoy people. I hope you guys feel happy in the present moment and feel open in the present moment. And I pray that you guys get to feel that more and more. All right. I'll see you guys later for next monthly reading, whatever. All right. Bye.